Here we go. Okay, back in business. It's a nice day out today. And if I had my, if I could do this, I'd be outside doing this, but it's still a little chilly. Okay. So again, I've done this before and I'm going to do it now. Yet another time. I'm going to put on my shoes. Some of you are just now getting up. You're coming on. Some of you have put on your shoes. Some of you have not put on your shoes. So I want you to just observe, okay? I'm telling you, a large majority, I don't know the stats on it, of people who hurt their backs, actually, do it while they're putting on their shoe because they're trying to hurry and they're doing this. See this? See how I rounded? Don't do that, all right? I'm gonna put on my shoes. See how I'm coming in to this? That move right there, and you can do these moves with me unless you just want to watch the whole show. You see this? That gives your back a chance to kind of wake up gently. When you go, and you see how I'm doing this? See how I'm doing this? I'm gonna chuck my chin. I am putting on my little sock. Okay. See how I bring it up just a bit? If you want to go on down and do it, you could, but you got to keep your back extended. Okay. So here I am. When I hip hinge, I bring my rib cage up. See? I put on those socks. Then I'm going to do the shoes the same way. Or I can put them down here. See? Every time I go forward, number one, breathe through your nose. Every time I go forward, it is a chance for me to wake up not only my back and my back extensors, but my groin muscles. You have no clue. I wish I could give you the whole breakdown, but I'm not. How much proper walking, ambulating, depends on your groin, your hamstrings, your quads, but especially your gluteal to be woke up. So this kind of moving, see how I've come up and down how many times now? See that? I hope you're doing this with me, even though you might have your shoes on. Okay? Several times I have gone into a deep hip hinge in a seated position. Why is that important? Because when you hip hinge in a seated position, you can actually go a little deeper and you can actually feel the stretch through the groin. So now I have my shoes on. Everybody's like, okay, we're going to get going. Well, sit your butt down. Go like this, okay? And I'm trying to move this into stuff that you would do in the day. You got to put your shoes on, okay? Do it, giving your whole body a chance to wake up and to line up. So when I do this and my hands are here, see, I can really pull those elbows back. And as I go deeper in this hip hinge, wow, can you feel it through your groin? You don't want to go super hard, but just until you start to feel that. See, and every time I do this, I keep saying to myself, tuck my chin. Then I come over here from the center and I reach on this side of the foot. Then I pull back. Then I come back down and I reach over here on the other side of the foot. And then I come back and then I pull those elbows together, sitting on the chair. And when you do this, bring that chin back in. So see, in actuality, I'm doing every one of the 7 essential moves in our warm-up right now for our weight training class, right now in the warm-up. Here's the scapular retraction. I've already gone down and started to address part of the hamstring groups, which is your groin. See, I'm going to turn again. I'm turning gently. I'm really working through that huge back extensor system. I'm going to go one more time, and I'm really stretching through the groin. Then I'm going to do a scapular retraction, and I'm going to do a chin retraction. See this? My elbows are going back. Then I bring those elbows up, and I just touch the fingers behind my head, and I push with my chin tucked. Big breath through the nose. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. And then I bring them back down. Just by doing those, and that's the first part of the 3 to 4 of the 7. Then I'm going to come here, and on the way up, I'm going to go ahead and hit the hamstrings because I'm going to keep my hands on the chair. Okay? Breathe through the nose, out through the nose if possible. So my feet are wide. I'm going to go into a hip hinge, release the butt, hang on to your chair, and straighten those legs gently, and then come back down. Tap, open. See, I'm going to come right back here. I'm opening right here. This is really important for people with forward head issues, rounded shoulder issues. See, this is my guide right here. Sit forward on your chair, drop your elbows, drop your chin, take a big breath, and touch the backs of your arms, your upper arms. So you're opening here. Then you go back, hip hinge, hands on the chair. Don't try to do this without putting your hands on the chair, because when you put your head down, you can get a little, unbalanced. Okay? There's a joke there somewhere, but I won't go there. Okay. I know Frank got that. Okay, straighten those legs until you feel what? Until you feel a stretch. My head is down just for a few seconds. Enough for that blood to come into that head. The only people that I would discourage doing this kind of a thing is people who have really uncontrolled blood pressure problems, or any kind of vascular issues that they're aware of. Then you just go here. So you don't put your head all the way down. You just straighten your legs, pull your toes up, then knee bend, and you're up. Okay? So we've already gone through the majority of the 7 moves that I went over again last night. And I do these all the time. I happen to see them presented with those physical therapists that I really like. They're aimed at functional training, which is what I do, and that's why I like to use them. They're called Bob and Brad. You may have heard of them. Anyway, they're very good. Okay, what am I doing? I'm still doing my warm up. I'm finishing the 7 moves. Yeah. So what am I doing? I'm straight on. I'm pushing down, not out. Pushing down, keeping my chin tucked. Big breath through the nose. And then I bend my knee. So whereas I'm not just sitting on this move, I'm doing several repetitions. So it's more of a dynamic kind of training that we're doing to get ourselves warmed up. So I'm going to switch my legs. So once I come to neutral right here, I tell myself, drop my shoulders, drop my chin, step back, roll into the heel, then bend your knee, then pull back, and you're pressing down on your chair. Don't press out, okay? And if you want to go a little deeper, you just push your knee forward, and it will give you a gentle but a very effective stretch in your heel cores, especially if you bend your knee. See how I bent my knee? Then I straightened and I bent forward more. Then I bent my knee. Then I straighten my leg and I come back forward. Keep pushing down on your chair. Big breath through the nose. Yeah. You can exhale through the mouth if you feel the need to. So once I've done that several times, you can ambulate better is the point. Now, before you step too far away from your chair, the last thing we do is we push our hips forward. Now, you're going to have a propensity right now to squeeze your butt in tight. Don't do that right now, okay? Release it. You're going to push your hips forward as you lean your shoulders back. Chin is tucked. Big breath. Soften up your knees. When I was doing this with that chef last night, he kept wanting to straighten and lock his knees. So I had to keep yelling at him. Drop your shoulders, chin tucked, press, breath, and release, okay? Step across, step across. Yeah, I'm just doing a little different kind of a lunge, actually. Okay, so it's crossing over, okay? Giving my hips, my back, my knee, my ankle, a little challenge of movement right here to get them woke up, okay? Yeah. Then I'm going to turn my chair around and I'm going to grab my little stepping pad. I still have like maybe 4 of these left. So next time anybody comes out and you need one, you can get them from me. So I'm going to step on that pad. Don't just step into that willy-nilly. When you step, bend that knee. See how I'm doing a repeated step forward? Right here, I would be checking your foot that's behind. And what do you think I'm checking for? Because many of us do that. Now, we will do that later in a move. But right now, I'm focused on getting your legs really ready to work. So I did those repeated on one side. Then I come forward. As you lunge forward, say rib cage up. Drop the chin in, drop your shoulders. Give your frame, which encompasses the spine, your shoulders, your hips, your feet, everything all the way down, a chance. Give them a chance to work properly, okay? And many, many, many times we can have that in our control to do that, okay? So as I step forward, what I notice for me is I have that tightness right here. Many of you are very well aware of that tightness. And you're going, oh, Jeannie, you better, get this. I am. Okay, take a breath. Okay, we went forward. See, we did this several times. See there? Yeah. And if your rib cage is up and you're leaning in, it's okay for your knee to go out a bit over the toe. Just keep your rib cage up, okay? That is a really good thing to do. Okay, so I'm just ending the forward move. So that encompasses your knee, your ankle, your hip, okay? Now I'm gonna step up and I'm going to pull that toe back. Okay, everybody forgets this one. So let me just do this. So I'm gonna be right here. See that? I'm gonna say chin tucked, shoulders down. I am on a very unstable surface, okay? A very compromising surface. So that means it's gonna do this. That's good. That's part of that. That's part of the benefit derived from that jiggling, okay? You're moving all over the place. But here, Take a big breath into the nose, drop your shoulders. I got my toe back here. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go up, and I'm gonna go up. Then I'm gonna come back, just like that. Switch. Okay, get ready. When you go up, like this, okay, your hands are down, drop your shoulders. Do not turn your toe out. You want to lead with your heel. 1, 2, 3, and 4. See that? That kind of a thing. You can do it a couple sets, whatever. Squeezing the gluteal. That is what is an important thing to do to get your gluteals on board. All right. Then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do heel to hip. Move your little pad out of the way. You're going to go heel to hip, heel to hip. Don't do it real jerky. Put your hands right here and come into that. Don't turn your toe out. If you turn your toe out, you're not going to be getting that stimulation through your quad that I want you to get. And if you do this and you don't do anything else, okay, other than just this back and then heel to hip. Whoa, that done in a set or two. Don't do it fast. Don't do it fast. Say rib cage up, drop your shoulders, but just bringing your heel to your hip and keeping the foot behind. See, if you do it here, it doesn't, you're not going to elicit anything really. You have to bring that leg back, kind of like you're striking a match with your foot. Okay, like that. Like that. But then don't arch too bad. Say rib cage up. Yeah, just like that. Rib cage up. Rib cage up. Rib cage up. Tight tummy. Tight tummy. Tight tummy. Tight tummy. So to those 7, that's the one I would add because it really helps this all function so much better. Okay, so now then I'm going to reach down here. I'm going to grab my little gloves because we are going to be doing some lifting today. So if you haven't done this in a while, I will tell you the weights I'm using. However, that's just for your information. That is for your information. You don't have to pick up what I'm picking up. In fact, if you haven't lifted weights in a while, don't be so quick to lift super heavy. Go more medium. So I'm going to start with carries, and then we're going to go into a big program for weight training just to keep you functional. Okay, so what did I pick up? Well, I picked up 2 jugs, gallon jugs. So find anything that will be a gallon that you can hang on to. These were really good to hang on to. So I like these. With water, that's 10 pounds each. See here? So what did I do? I pulled my little stepping pad right over here because that's where I'm going to start. So drop your shoulders. You're going to come here. You're going to come down. You're going to come up and back over. Okay? So we're doing variations on carries. And I wanted to start with a medium weight, which for me is 10 and 10. Whatever a medium weight is for you, think of picking up a suitcase. How much would a normal suitcase weigh that you were going to have a suitcase in both hands? You wouldn't go super heavy, right? So that's what I want you to think of. And so as I'm doing this, I want you to notice every once in a while, I'll drop my chin and I'll glance down, okay? Just to make sure where my target is. See that? See that? So here is where it gets a little dicey. You know why? Because those of you who struggle with balance have something in both hands. I'm going to ask somebody to mute themselves. I have everybody muted, but somebody, Tim, if you can mute yourself, that would be great. For some reason, you didn't get muted. So mute yourself, Tim. I don't know if he's hearing me. Anyway, here we go. Now I'm going to put the other foot here. So it gets dicey, as I was saying, when you're stepping over and back, because now you have something in both hands, right? Now, many times, those of us who have joint issues, we have balance issues, putting something in both hands already presents a challenge. And I know this. See how I'm coming up here? Right here is where everybody likes to lock their leg. Don't lock your leg, number one. Keep your knee bent, soft. As you step up and over, step up. Bring the leg up and over. When you're glanced down, instead of rounding your back, rounding your neck, and looking, practice dropping your chin, come up, take a glance, and come over. And let me finish my scenario now that I started, that everybody's saying, would you finish the story? If you hit your heel, okay, and you're not looking and you forgot kind of where you were, let's say you drifted and you get your heel on the edge as you're stepping down. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's very high risk for you. So of course you're going to want to look down, right? To make sure you're going to fully step over that target. And it's a big old pillow there, okay? Heck, it could be a log, it could be a dead animal, it could be a rock, some wood, a curb. You know it, you've been there, haven't you? So this is very important training that we're doing right now. And I'm doing this repetitively on a very uneven surface. Okay, so I'm getting that. I'm keeping my knee soft because if I don't, I tend to over lean. Okay, and now step off. So there you have over and backs carrying a medium load. Now I'm going to sidestep it. I'm going to come up and I'm going to sidestep it. And here again, you're going to have to glance. So I knew I wasn't quite far enough over, but here's how I'm going to look. I'm going to drop my chin and drop my eyes and not go into a rounded back scenario. Okay, then I'm going to step and step. All right, so if you can't remember some of these moves, just think of walking in a box. Okie dokie. And as you do it, see how I'm turning, I'm glancing. And why am I doing that? Yeah, you know why. You've been there. Because when you've backed up many, many times, what has happened? You didn't know something was there. And as you stepped back, what'd you do? Yeah, see how I'm doing this? See, you step back and that's only 2 inches. And you're turning your ankle, and if you're fully taking your whole body back, that could be enough to send you to the ground, okay? So the moral of this story is you need to be very circumspect, very thoughtful, very careful when you're ambulating side to side and backward as well as forward, but especially these tasks that I'm doing right now. So now I'm all the way to the back, I'm all the way in the corner, and now I'm going to reverse. So I'm going to go reverse, I'm going to drop my shoulders because everybody tends to come forward. Drop your shoulders, tighten in your tummy, walk forward, walk across, and then you're going to glance. See how I'm turning and I'm dropping my chin, and then I glance and I'm like, okay, I'm all the way back there. Let me lift my heel and ambulate back. Then I'm going to come forward. This is only a couple of steps. Over, and then before you start, many of us just hunch and we do this and we crane our neck out. You don't need to do that. Turn, drop your chin, and then drop your eyes. It should give you the view that you need, okay? And here I am again. Take a big deep breath. Okay, last one with the lighter carry hold. So totally what I have now is 20 pounds hanging off my shoulders, okay? I have 10 and 10. And anytime you fill full a gallon container with water, you're gonna have about 10 pounds. Okay, are you ready? Still have things in your hands that can be very problematic for you. And you may elect to not have something in one hand. You may feel the need to, in fact, put one down and either have a chair in front of you or use a pole. I'll use a pole. Okay? I've had, not kidding you, at least 2 or 3 people since we met talk to me about their loved one, whoever it might be, needing a cane. And so they were, how do I get them to use a cane? What did I just do? I'm giving you a modification on a very important move. So you're saying rib cage up, drop your shoulders, tighten in your tummy. And of course, drop your chin in, okay? Big breath in through the nose. I have my third point of contact right here. I'm doing a carry on one side. So don't drop. That's number one. Okay, so in essence, in reality, when you have only one weighted side, you have to work doubly hard to keep that in symmetry. See that? Don't drop. That's what I mean there. So that means this side has to work harder at keeping that up. Then I'm going to act like I'm going to put my heel down, but I'm not going to go all the way down. And I have this third point of contact as an insurance policy. Right, Kay? I'm sorry, I had to do that. Okay, drop your shoulder. Take a big breath. This is really what it is doing a single leg beginning squat, okay? There are those of you who, if I could pick one move out to help you strengthen your ability to walk, to do stairs, to have less pain in your knees, in your calves, in your ankles, in your feet, it would be this one. Pay attention. It's like a single leg squat. And what am I doing? It's like I'm going down a stair. Yes, this is only 2 inches, okay? But do you know, for me to do this right here and to keep my knee straight as it bends, to keep my back extended, okay, rib cage up, whoa, core training, keep pushing down on the rod. I'm going to call it a rod. I'll go back to the story. Seriously, these 2 or 3 people approached me about the unsteadiness of their loved one, whoever it might be. And I said, first of all, don't call it a cane. Say, you know what? I have these really cool walking poles that hikers use to get a better stride. Yeah, stay with me. Don't quit. Okay, number one, let me take a break here and tell you, the foot that is on the pad, you got to continually open your toes because many of you are gripping with your toes. Open that toe. That's number one. By now, if you have done this the way I'm doing it now with a rod, okay, a pole, keeping this, my shoulders in symmetry, you're working and you're feeling it. You should feel it as a muscle that is warming up. See how I'm doing? I'm just putting my heel down. See that? But I'm doing it repeatedly. Okay, staying in line, keeping my chin tucked. Take a big deep breath. Okay, just two more, just two more. Here we go. Okay, just one more, just one more. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're gonna switch. Okay, we'll rest in a minute, I promise. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna bend the other leg. We're gonna push down on that pole. We're gonna drop our shoulders. We're gonna soften the knee that's gonna be bending, okay? Because as I go down, I wanna get that heel down and then pull back up, okay? Open your toes, uncurl them. How did I know that? Because I understand that sluggies, I love slugs, like to cheat. And sometimes our different replaced joints, our different problems with our knee, our hip, our back, name it, gets us into very bad habit patterns, okay? So give yourself a chance. This is my challenge side because I have to bend without over leaning. So that's the first thing I would see or notice if I came and did this with you. I would want to notice, okay, how hard are you leaning when you go to put that heel down? And so I can tell you it's much more challenging for me to lightly tap my heel because I have to, this is the hip replace side. And if there are those of you who need to put both hands on a chair, on a wall, in order to do this, that's fine. But know where your little juggernauts are, okay? Mine is this leg, and I'm trying really hard to make the weaker muscles do the work here, okay? This is your best chance doing something like this. Yeah, take a breath, rib cage up, drop shoulders, big breath through the nose. I would love to hear anybody's stories on if you really are trying to do nasal breathing. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. We've known it. It's just we have lots better research on it to show us whys. Okay, stay with me. So I can tell you right now, with just doing 10 pounds, but keeping in line, trying not to overlean, I'm feeling it in my leg, not so much in my core, but it's my leg and my hip of the hip replaced side. See that? Yeah. So this is what's called an eccentric move, okay? Meaning I'm elongating in order to get that heel down. So this is what you do when you go downstairs. So anytime you see stairs, they are your friend. They are what's going to help you get stronger. So don't dread them. Use a handle, but do them, okay? Take a breath. So I can tell you those weaker muscles in that leg, I can feel it right now. Take a breath. Oh, yeah, just like that. Okay, two more. Here we go. One more. And come back. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna put my little bar down. Now I'm back to my double carries. I'm gonna put the double carries right here. Okay, so as I go to put it down, are you watching my form? See what I did? You bend your knees and you stick your butt back. Oh, I tell you, if I can just get people to think about that, that's what I want to do. Okay, now I'm going to pick up my free weights, the ones that most of you have. I'm going to pick up a 12 and a 12. Okay, I was carrying a 10 and a 10 in the jugs. Now I have a 12 and a 12 because I'm going to pretend I just added a pair of shoes here and a pair of shoes here. This is for Nancy. We just added those cute shoes that were heavy. Okay, are you ready? Now you're on your the pad, actually, and I'm going to step down with one toe. I hope you're being able to see this. I'm going to push this back a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Now, for those of you who struggle with balance, I'm hoping that you can do this where you can just put an elbow on a wall or a chair, something, okay? So see, I'm standing here like this. I'm not trying to bring them up yet. I'm going to put my heel on the outer edge of my little platform. See that? Then I'm going to put my other heel on the edge so my toes are down. I know it. So be careful. Make sure you are at least shoulder width apart. Okay, so now my heels are on the edge, far enough that you don't flip your little pillow. Okay, so there I am. My toes are down, my heels are on the edge. Now I'm going to go to the squat. Now I'm going to go down as far as I feel I can and pull and pull. And I'm going to come back and back down. I'm going to come down as far as I can. My heels are on my little pad, and then I'm going to pull. Now, if you want to do it one at a time, that's fine. If this is a heavier load for you, drop your shoulders. You should be able to do it. Take a big breath. Go down, down, down. All the way down. A little bit more, a little bit more. Try to tap the floor. Then you come up by pushing into the heels. You go 1 and 2. And then 1 and 2. Drop down. Push, 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 push. Heels, heels, heels. Back, 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 back. Back up. Big breath. Big breath. Back down. Push into the heels. Push into the heels. Push into the heels. Tap the weights. Push into the heels. Boom. Boom. Back down, back down, back down. Come back up. Heels. Ugh. Right there. Take a breath. Big breath. As you're coming up, exhale. Woo. Woo. 2 more, 2 more. Here we go. All the way down. Tap, tap, tap. Do not round that back. Take a breath. Last one. And come back, back, back. 1 and 2. Nice. Step off, step off. Go down. Put those weights right beside you. Okay? Put them right beside you. Here's the deal. This is one of those daily half a dozen things. I keep adding them, so there'll be a dozen. I do have all that. This is just a little different. One of those should be folding. Do you see what I'm doing? This is a half fold. Okay? I'm letting you recuperate. Take a breath. Okay? Push your butt back. Drop your chin. Go down, 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 down. Now drop the butt. Do not drop your head here. So I know several people who think they're going down really low with their legs and their butt. They're not. They're merely putting their head down low and they think they are. So I'm going to turn sideways so you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. And there are definitely If I ever have a class full of people, there will be several people who merely do this. They get to this point, and then instead of going down with their butt, they go like this. And they think they're going down, but they're not. So I want you to fully fold. So that means swing your butt back, keep your chin tucked, keep your rib cage up. As you go down, pretend somebody is pushing your butt down. Go down a little more and a little more and a little more. Now, for those of you with newly replaced knees, yeah, there's going to be a sticking point. But this is a very pivotal move for anybody trying to maintain their knee bend. After they've had a knee replacement, they can get tight on you. So do this very controlled. Come down, keep your chin tucked. Now act like I'm pushing down on your butt. Go down just a little bit more. Hang out here, then push into the heels, and then come up. Now right here, this is where you want to squeeze your butt tight. Pull your shoulders down and in, okay? Do not grip the barrel with your hand the whole time. Let it hang off of your fingertips, okay? Here we go. We're gonna do 3 more. So I'm gonna go down, keep my chin tucked, rib cage up. Now is when you push into the heels. You hang out down here, take a breath, push a little bit more into the butt, breath, then come up, heels, shoulders down and squeezing together. Big breath. Okay, 2 more. Here we go. Heels, tuck your chin. Okay, now act like I got my hand right on the back part of your back and your butt. I'm pushing your butt down. Down, down, down. Then you come up. Take a big breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Down. Tuck your chin. Go into the heels. Push down. And then come back up. Yeah, squeeze your butt. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to go part way. I'm going to take my hands to the side. I'm going to keep my chin very tucked. Do not hang your head out. Okay. So a little bend in the knees, hip hinge. We're going to pull and we're going to act like we're rowing. Okay. You don't lift it. You just roll forward. Okay. Pull, breathe in, exhale. Ooh. Yes. Pull. Don't let your knees come together and don't let them go flaring out. Pull, row. Pull, row. Pull, row. Take breath. Yes. Pull, row. Just 2 more, just 2 more. One more. Yeah. Now I'm gonna come around here in front of my chair. And I'm gonna sit down in control. So here's the deal. This next segment is gonna be a very controlled up, down with weights. I know, I can hear you cheering because you're gonna love it so much. See, Kathy, you can't slap me right now. Okay, bend in and come back. Bend in, drop your shoulders, come back. So every time I go forward right now, this is a recovery. So you're coming in, your rib cage is up. I turn my head to act like I'm going over my shoulder. Of course, you don't, but that's what you're trying to do. Then you come forward. Breathe in through the nose, keep your chin tucked, and turn your head. So this is part of the mindset behind recovering from neck issues, okay? Because I want you to tuck your chin. Everybody goes into this move like this. I'm saying don't do that. Okay, shoulders are down. My legs are pretty wide. My feet are pretty wide. Okay, a little bit wider than shoulder actually. I've got weights right here ready to work. But now I want to tuck that chin in as I go forward. My chin is tucked in. I'm going to really retract. Then I'm going to protract. Then I'm going to retract again. See that? So this is leaning over the edge of a bed. Let's pretend that. So let's pretend you're laying on a bed with your head hanging off and you let it go into protraction. And then I say, pull that head back. See that? You want to maintain the ability to move your neck against gravity. See how I'm turning? And I'm hanging out there over the bed. See that? It's a retraction with my chin tucked. Take a breath. Now I'm going to stay out there with my chin tucked, and I'm going to pull these 12-pound weights right up here. This is for you, Kay. This is the strength training after being on the rack. Okay. And if somebody like Kay can do that has challenges, whether you have osteoporosis or scoliosis or whatever, neck issues, this is yours to get stronger. This is a pretty good weight for me, not the heaviest I could take, okay? But as I go down, I keep my chin tucked, I keep my rib cage up, and I pull right there, and I go boom, and a tiny bit of a row. See, it's up, boom. Big breath. Pull. Keep those elbows in tight. Keep the elbows in tight. Pull. Woo. Do not round your back. How do you do that? You hip hinge, number one. And then you say, shine my tail lights with my rib cage up. Ah. Row. Pull. Row. Pull. Row. Ah. Row. Pull. Row. Two more. Pull. Row. Ah. And row. Put your weight down. Open. Yeah. Keep your hands forward. Pull back. Drop your shoulders. Rib cage up. Now I want you to take one arm, if they're back as far as they both can go, and they're not touching your chair, I want you to rotate and pull one back and touch the chair. Your palms are open. Touch, then come forward. Drop your shoulders. Open. Now rotate and touch. Yeah. So this is the big deal here is shoulder retraction. You're bringing them in, okay? So right here, shoulders are down. My palms are forward. Chin is tucked. Take a big breath. Bring the arms back first, as far as you can go. And if they're not touching at the elbow on the chair, then you're going to turn slightly until you can get that back there and touching. Yeah. Keep your chin tucked. Here we go. Bring them back first and then touch. You're going to have to go more on one side than the other generally, because that's how we have problems on one side versus the other. Everybody does. Okay, here we go. Isn't it nice to know that everybody has problems? Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. Give a big hug. I know it. Woo. Take a breath. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now, I told you we were going to do carries a little differently. So, people with joints replaced, arthritis, etc. Yes, you have to be careful. And yes, you have to go at it a little differently. And yes, you might have to do a few more repetitions with lighter weights. All of that is good. But see, you're the one that has to be able to determine, I think I need to go a little lighter. You know, I can't quite get up with both the weights, okay? Because if you're going through an issue with your hip or your knee, if you add now 24 pounds and you try to stand up, that's a lot of pressure. Now, your hip can take a lot of pressure. However, not if you're having flare-ups. So what do? I'm going to show you what you do. You might have forgotten. You get your butt up first so that you don't have that the extreme amount of pressure. And it's designed to do this. That's why squats are so much trumpeted out there to do, because you want to keep a healthy hip, and a healthy hip should be able to take pressure the most of any joint in the body, basically. Well, what do you do when you're going through a flare up? Okay, you use your hands, you get into neutral. See that? You keep your chin tucked, and then you go down and pick up those heavy weights, and you come up. That's what you do, okay? So you can always get around one way or the other. So now we're gonna go down, control, tap, and come back up. So we're pretty much in neutral, okay? See if you're able to do this with not pain in the hip. If you have pain in the hip, then you need to do this higher. You need to come here and come back up, okay? If you can go down and touch the backs of the feet, of the hamstrings, then do that. If you have any issues though, you just go higher. See how I didn't go quite down? Yeah, that's what you do. Big breath in the nose. Drop your shoulders. Down. Go down as far as you can. What I want you to notice is, what are you doing with your chin, rib cage? And when you're coming down, where is your knee positioned? Do not go in with your knees, and do not go out with your knees. Pull, and come back. Keep your chin tucked. Big breath. Woo. Here we go, heels. Keep your chin tucked. Stay high if you need to. Like go down maybe once, and then stay high for the rest of them. And I hear you saying, well, how many are we gonna do, Jeannie? And I'm gonna say, well, how many can you do? I know it. Breath. Breath, keep shoulders down. Breath. Okay, okay, 2 more. Breath. 1 more. Yay. All right. Let me see where we're at. We're good. Okay. Now, are you ready for hard? I'm gonna put my weights over here. Now I'm gonna kick it up. You remember the first carry we did? I did it with my 10-pound jugs, right? You remember that? So, if you feel you can, I'm gonna do the same thing over the pad, see? But I'm gonna do it with as much weight as I can handle, okay? Drop your chin, open, give yourself a hug, okay? Tighten in on your tummy. Now I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna kick up my carries to 18. So those of you who have purchased these from me, you got an 18 and an 18, okay? If that's too much, then do what you can handle that's heavy for you. I don't know what that is because I'm not there with you, okay? But I'm gonna go step, and I'm gonna come over, and I'm gonna come back. See that? So you remember we went through this painstakingly. Put your foot pretty close to the middle, and then you're gonna come up and over. Drop your shoulders, up and over. Be ready. Do you see what I just did? It's gonna throw you. I am warning you. So if this is not for you to do, it's too scary, do this whole thing on the floor, okay? So I'm on the pillow. I'm gonna come up and over and up and back. And I'm pressing into the whole foot. Take a breath. Keep my shoulders down, my rib cage up, over and back. And again, this needs to be as heavy as what you think you can handle, okay? But you have a very a compromising surface. So I'm gonna switch, okay? And why do I do this with weights? Why do I wanna do this craziness? I'm trying to, in as a controlled way as possible, train you for very uncontrolled real life, okay? I know very well how uncontrolled real life can be. You may think you have all your plans in a row with plan A, and you find out you have to go to plan B. Yeah, here we go. Many of you out there know this. Okay, I'm on my challenged side. So my challenge side used to be my knee replaced side. Now it's my hip replaced side. Yeah. So keep your knee soft. You know what some of you are doing? The minute you go into this to come over, you actually lock your knee for a split second. So try not to do that. And this should be pretty hard work right now, okay? And if it's not for you to be on the pillow, kick the pillow out. See, I'm gonna do it. I have it here, and I'm just gonna step over and back. And I'm gonna keep my knee soft. And I'm gonna try not to overlean. And I'm just hanging on to these 18-pound weights in each hand. Keep your knee soft. Yes, keep your knee soft. So you should be shaking a little bit right now. That's a good thing. That's what I've really worked at to try to reach this point with you. Okay, just two more. Take a breath. Okay, bring it back. Okay, now I'm gonna bring these over here. I'm not gonna put them on the floor to trip over. Put them down. Okay. Woo. Now, go into a T. Turn. A few little circles. Take big breaths through your nose. Breathe into a W. Keep your chin tucked. When you're in a W, if you want to do a little test to see how you're tight you are in your shoulders, okay? Palms up. You're in a W. Your elbows are right here at your waist. Bend your elbow, and without bending your wrist, see if you can at least touch your shoulders with your thumbs. Yeah. That means you're back there. See that? I know. So when you're walking today, I want you to do at least part of your walk, a fourth of your walk, any part of your walk with your palms up. Give yourself a chance to open this up, okay? Take a big breath, step wide. You're gonna bend. You're gonna go to one side. You're gonna let this stretch really, really well. Then you come up and you go over. So you sink and you straighten and you drop your hip enough to feel the stretch coming right here. Toes should be pretty straight. And I mean, you can do this anytime that you are feeling, oh man, my hips are tight or whatever. Sometimes it's a groin that you need to address, because that's one of the first signs, tip-offs, that somebody's hip is acting up, either with arthritis, maybe you're bone on bone, is you will get pain in your groin. Okay, shake out, shake out, shake out. I think we're past time, just a little, 2 minutes. Good job, you guys. I know you're loving it, aren't you? Especially Nancy.